Food is hope. Food gives us energy every single day. That is one thing that people should not have to fight for. I'm Nick Marino Jr., and I'm the Director of Social Change of Tango Tab in Dallas, Texas. I grew up in Garland, Texas. My dad is an Italian kid from the streets of New York. My mom's a Jewish girl from Brooklyn, and they met at a disco in Queens in the 70s. Go figure, it's like a New York fairy tale. I mean, I just remember on Sunday nights growing up, just our family, all these Italians and Jewish people from the Northeast yelling like crazy over a great tray of lasagna, over some great food. And they're yelling like crazy with love. But food brings people together. Food unites us. I always say that I wasn't raised with a silver spoon. I was raised with a wooden one, but fed well. I think it really shaped me for who I am today. In 2008, I had a chance to go on a mission trip to the Dominican Republic. This trip was the first time that I ever saw and heard of real hunger in my life. Like, we have this perception of what hunger looks like on television, but to see it firsthand, man. And that's hunger at a level that I never knew existed. I was in right field, and I was surrounded by 40 kids in the Dominican, and we did not speak the same language. You bring them a used glove from 15 years ago, and they're super excited just to have that. It's really life-changing, and you see our culture in a different light, and the things that we take for granted here. And the one thing that I saw in all these kids' faces was just pure joy. And I remember standing there on Friday night before we came back to America and sharing my story and just breaking down, crying about it in front of the people that were on this mission trip. It radically changed my life. So my involvement with Tango Tab actually started years before Tango Tab was even a concept. When I was in college, I got introduced by a friend to Tom's Shoes. And I heard the story of Blake McCoskey and all the great things that he was doing with this one-for-one movement. And I was like, wait, I don't have to go into nonprofit world to make a change. I could actually do this with a business. After I graduated, I met this guy named Andre Angel. And he had this cool concept of saying, hey, what if we took restaurants and help them fill seats, and every time we do that, we feed a person in need. It's like, wow, this is the dining version of Tom's Shoes. I ended up jumping ship, left the job that I was at, the corporate world, and went into the startup world, and it's been one of the best decisions of my life. Tango Tab's a mobile app, and we actually work with over 100,000 restaurants across the country. Individuals can just download the app, and every time somebody just clicks Tango Tab it when they go to one of our partner restaurants, we feed a person in need locally. Tango Tab is probably the easiest way to give back. All you do is open up the app, you click nearby, you're gonna scroll straight through the screen, you'll see hundreds of restaurants around you. You find the restaurant that you want, whether it's a coffee shop or a bar or your local Tex-Mex spot. When you arrive at the restaurant, you click Tango Tab it. If there's a deal, you'd show your confirmation code to your waiter or waitress. If there's no deal, you just keep doing what you do. There's nothing else to do. We use geo-targeting based on longitude and latitude of the restaurant, and from that, we're able to feed a person in need. As the Director of Social Change, it's my job to change the consumer's mindset of when I go out to eat or when I take this specific action, I'm gonna make a difference when I do that. So we're taking something that people do every single day, dining out, and solving a social problem. Tango Tab has actually fed over 1.8 million people in need. There are a ton of good people out there in this world, and they want to give back. They just want the opportunity to give back. So we're providing that in a way that they do something every single day. We keep track of how many people someone's fed, how many people their friends have fed, and how many people Tango Tab has fed, all in the app, so they can see that every single day. We need people to use the app so we can continue doing all of the other things that we get to do. And one of the things that people know about, most likely, is our Feed the City events.
But thank you guys again so much for coming out. There's hundreds of people here. There are a couple people that I just want to...
So our Feed the City events bring hundreds of people together on the second Saturday of every single month. And when I say hundreds of people, this is from 3-year-olds to 93-year-olds. Anyone that can make a sandwich, and you'll see people just walking up with tons of bags of food, loaves of bread and meat and cheese, and they're handed over to us and we just take them in. Everyone goes in, they find their tables and their spots. We make thousands upon thousands of meals and we deliver them down to local organizations so they're able to feed people throughout the week. And the music is pumping and I'm already on my second Red Bull of the day or 8th cup of coffee, and there's so much energy in the room and the atmosphere just changes the whole dynamic. We use our Feed the City events as kind of education and a gateway to people. We're working with our app and we're able to provide funds and meals to great organizations. So we are starting also Farm the City events. So just like our Feed the City events, we bring people together, but instead of making sandwiches, we actually harvest crops. And I'm a straight city boy. When I see somebody getting that meal, it brings me back to that moment in the Dominican Republic, seeing the joy on those people's faces and on those kids' faces there, and the full circle effect is amazing. All by starting with someone using an app at a restaurant. You have to make it easy for people to give back. People want to know exactly what to do and how to do it. And so we want to make this concept seamless. I'm extremely proud of where I'm from. And I look at Dallas, I'm like, this is my city. And to know that I'm part of something, part of our Feed the City events, part of Tango Tab, doing these Farm the City events, and it's all starting right here. It's great to see that we want people to be proud of where they're from. We want people to give back into the communities of where they're from, to make a difference. This world is a lot bigger than electronics or cars and houses. I just want a legacy that people can look back and say, you know what? That person made a difference.